Alright guys, so I am just in my van here getting ready to go to work. I have like something on my shirt. Yeah. So breakfast I usually do a smoothie, orange juice, and egg McMuffin now to have the extra protein that I need. Just be busy at work. So the lighting here is kind of weird. But anyways, so last night I had called the 71st precinct about my son. And they're like, call in the morning. So I asked for this sergeant, and I tend to, somebody said to me, Melissa, be careful how you say something over here when you work. Like I had said, I work for an Italian restaurant, and I said, no, we don't do butter, and to a customer who wanted butter. And she's like, just say it this way instead, because that sounds kind of blunt. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm from New England. We tend to just tell it the way it is. And she's like, no, I love that, being blunt and not beating around the bush. But when I'm working with customers, I have to be careful. So anyways, talk about blunt. The reason why I say this was pretty blunt. And I am a fighter, so it's okay. But I call New York, and they tend to be just, kind of rough around the edges, right? And he's like, why would you call us? And I'm like, because, I want a wellness check on my son. And he's like, yeah, but why would you do that if you're working with a detective in New Hampshire? New Hampshire should be taking care of this. And I'm like, he's like, who told you to call us? And I'm like, 77th precinct told me to call you. And he's like, yeah, but why can't New Hampshire, the detective in New Hampshire, do this? And I said, probably because you're closer, maybe, than he is, and you can do it. And so he's like, I'm not blaming you. I just don't know why you're calling us, And so, just, I mean, he was nice, but he was just rough around the edges. And I'm like, because that is what I'm told to do, So I had to get through that. And then this is where the buck gets passed, right? From one person to another. And then I had talked to the sergeant I needed to, and they dropped the ball, and he apologized, and he's like, no, I had called 911. And the first guy I talked to said, why didn't you call 911? And I'm like, because I just want a wellness check. So he's like, we called 911, we put it out to them, I'm sorry, we didn't get that done. We didn't take notes. Usually we take notes, and that's what I asked for last night, for some notes to be taken. So I'm like, I really don't know how my son is. I said, I've been given these numbers. They don't work. I cannot get through on these numbers at all. So I really don't know if he's being held against his will. Because last time I talked to him, he wanted to come back here to Colorado. So ladies, be a fighter, fight for your sons, fight for your kids. They need you in life to help them out. Even though they're grown, they still need support. So just like a friend, right? If you had a friend and they're like, hey, I could use some help in this area, you would help them, right? Same thing. So yeah, I'm like, look, I'm working today and I have school tonight, but you can leave me a voicemail. So keep the communication lines open with your kids, guys. Keep it open. I mean, I have my own life now. He has his own life. He's doing what, he was traveling, doing what he wanted, and we should, our kids should be traveling or doing what they want in life, but you're still there. You're still there for your kids. So that's kind of what I got for now, guys. And I will always be updating and keeping a paper trail on what is going on. So be very vigilant. I just saw something in the news of the 16-year-old who was just seen in the garden area over here. Probably Garden of the Gods. I'm thinking, I didn't read the article, and he was found dead. So I'm like, how do you process this? I mean, like, one person just steps out into the road one day and they're dead, and another person, like my son, has, been homeless and walked the streets at night and is still living, and has gone from one state to another, has been homeless in different states, and he's still surviving. I mean, how do you make sense of any of this? And I think it's just, when it's your time to go, it is your time to go, and that's all there is. You know, there's no other way to explain it. So yeah, that's what I got for now, guys.